Oh my gosh, if you haven't heard about the NAR lawsuit, by now you have been sleeping under a rock. But here's the thing, it's gonna change real estate, 100%. COVID changed real estate, NAR is gonna change real estate. Anytime there's a new introduction of litigation, and especially of this magnitude and with this much press, it's gonna change the way we do business. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end, right? The world's coming to an end. The recent settlement could change the way that Americans buy and sell homes. The realtor lawsuit will change agents' commissions. Realtors agree to Act 6. Just out of curiosity, I love this clickbait right here where it's 6% commissions. I don't know about you guys, but like when I was actively selling day to day, when I was actively out there selling day to day, 6% commissions were not a normal. Right? Most buyers are 1.75 to 2.5, right? Listing side is 2.5 to 3.5, somewhere in that range. And everything's negotiable. So all this BS that, the world is putting out there, why the settlement means for blah, 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 418 million will upend the 6% fee. You guys, when you're talking to your prospects, just know that these questions are coming, right? Know that these questions are coming. Breathe. Relax, understand that this is going to have an effect on you, understand that this is going to have an impact on the way you do a business, understand that this is going to change how the listing agents, right? If you really want to get ahead of this, become a better listing agent, because now you control the side that people are willing to pay for better, right? We are accustomed, right? People are accustomed to pay a listing agent because they feel something's happening. They see the sign in the yard. They see photography happening. They see you have a stager come over. They see you do photography. They see you put together a brochure. They see you do open houses, right? They see, which makes them, and whatever you want to call it, makes them interpret that as value. Stop posting your stupid Instagram videos of somebody holding a key. Oh my God, we just closed 123 Banana Street. And then they go look up the house, 800,000, and they think 8 times 324, when that could have been an $8,000 commission, right? They don't know because they don't understand the industry. Just like I don't understand why the doors of Boeing planes fly off. I don't know why the freaking engineers are idiots over there that can't figure out how to bolt the door down. Well, guess what? Your prospect doesn't understand the things that they don't know. So if you only post the happy picture of the couple with the key, or we just sold another home, and you don't post anything in between, all people think about is, one, you're money hungry, and two, you make too much money. Post what you do as a buyer's agent. Show them going through an inspection. Interview your inspector. Talk about the common things that they should be worried about in your market, right? If you live in California, you have earthquakes, you have floods, you have fire, you have termites, right? I never see anybody talking about that. All I see you guys talking about is, oh my God, I just sold another home, right? That's the stuff that gets this going right here. We make too much money. And I know for a fact, because I train you agents all day long, and I have conversations with you agents all day long, most of you guys aren't getting 6%. Most of you guys aren't getting 3% consistently, right? Most of you guys are down below that, somewhere between 1.5% to 2.5%, because I've seen your commission statements. I've seen your year-end commission statements. I've seen your income. I've seen your volume. If your volume's $10 million times 3%, that should equal $300,000. Some of you made 150. Some of you made 275. Some of you, really good ones, you did 350, right? So commissions are variable. That's the first thing that we need to express to clients. When your prospect, right? So I'm going to give you some tips on what you can do to win. All right. So I'm going to give you some tips on what you can do to win. I just hand wrote this, right? Because I wanted to get this out quickly, but I'm going to give you some tips. So number one, right? Beat the NAR crap. That's what I call this. Beat the NAR crap, because it's just noise. And if you let that noise interfere in your life, you are going to get sucked in. So the number one beat NAR crap is build an insane value proposition as a buyer's agent. All right. That means that, oh, we got a thumbs up here. Awesome. I don't know how that worked, but we got a thumbs up. How do we build an insane value proposition as a buyer's agent? Well, let me just show you something that I'm working on for our private clients. It's called the $1 Billion Listing Presentation. And the first thing we're going to start out with, so contracts and power players. So real estate is a game of contracts and power players. Let me show you how to navigate through these waters. There are 3 major agreements that govern a real estate transaction. Would it be okay if I show you how that works? And they're going to say yes. The seller hires a listing agent for representation. You show them a listing agreement. They agree. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Second thing is the buyer hires me, right? The buyer hires me, a buyer's agent for representation, and you show them the buyer's agreement. Most agents are scared to talk about this. We bring it right up front. Talk about the elephant in the room. The third thing is when a contract on the home, aka an offer, is accepted, we're going to call that the contract. It's represented by a neutral third party like an escrow title or title company. We're going to call that the offer for the sake of what we're doing here. Cool? Awesome. We go right into the frames within the first 7 minutes of sitting down with somebody. Most average typical agents, when you guys do a buyer consultation, this is why you don't do them, is because you sit there and you talk about the house. Well, we really want a new roof and we want Nantucket style and it's got to be a 4-bed. It's got to have 3 bathrooms. None of that matters if they don't understand the process. And if that's your value proposition, guess what happens? It's the same proposition that everybody else has. Now, I'm gonna show you something else, right? I'm gonna show you something else. We're gonna talk about how do you bring up pricing, okay? Again, insane value proposition. Now, the most important discussion that the typical agent doesn't bring up is that the list price is just the invitation to the party, all right? You guys can see we're building out some slides for you. So when it comes to pricing, we can't talk about an offer price until we talk about the offer strategy. It's our job to share with you the 3 different strategies that the average agent versus the top agents use when it comes to pricing a home, putting an offer on a home. Think about that. Now we're going to insert the diagram on seller's pricing. So we're going to teach them how a seller can price the home, right? The seller has 3 different price strategies: aspirational, perceived market value, event-based, and we're going to explain it. Then we're going to share how there's 3 strategies that can be employed by a buyer's agent to help the buyer win a home in multiple offers. We're going to walk them through step by step, line by line, the purchase and sale agreement. Imagine if you had the exact verbiage, right? If you had the exact verbiage, would you feel more confident as a buyer's agent doing buyer consultations? Yes or yes. The second thing is you have to learn how to flow, show, and demo your value, right? So inside of our buyer's presentation, right? Inside of our buyer's presentation, what we do is we show them, right, our VIP buyers program, right? So here's what we call it, right? We go up here and we have our VIP access network. Now let's talk about our VIP access network, which gets you access to the entire network of homes on the market, not just what you see online from the apps you might be using or what the average agent, right? How many of you guys, be real, if the buyer says they're more than 6 months out, you say, hey, I'll put you on a drip and I'll just send you properties. Be real. So in every marketplace, we have a strategic approach. It's about showing, it's about working, right? We're going to show them how you send out postcards, get inbound calls, right? Have agents off market lists, right? We're going to start to show them in this area how we're getting off market properties, right? Now, most people are looking for a home to buy nowadays, get the e-alert, right? Before, as agents, like we're able to sit down and preview the market because most buyers are already set up on search campaigns, right? We're calling out the stuff that the average agent does, right? Because the average agent's like, hey, I'm going to send you properties. When you see something, you let me know. You guys are already set up on Redfin, Zillow, Realtor.com way before you ever introduce your IDX site to them. If an agent ever leads with this as their strategy to find you a home, this is what we consider the basic duties or the lazy agent method. I am now labeling anybody who leads with that because we train our clients to not be lazy agents, right? So now we go down over here, right? Now we go down over here and we're going to start to show them our off-market search, right? We're going to start showing them how we have due diligence. We're going to start showing them how we do the different things that our clients are going to use to win, right? What happens is when we start to show them how we send out postcards, how we door knock, how we circle prospect, and we show them our scripts and we show them our time blocks on our calendar. So when we start working with the new client, here's what we do. We send out postcards. We do this. We have an email blast. We do a social media dog whistle call out. We do all these things and you start to show them. Now they're like, oh my God, wow, that's crazy, right? Learn how to show, flow, and demo your processes. Do you think it might be helpful if you had a live inspection report from an inspection you did maybe in the last 30 days available and highlight areas? Hey, so when we did the inspection report on this property, would it be cool if I just showed you some of the things that we called out so that the buyer was going in on a multiple offer property with no contingencies? Right? It's the exact thing you do when you buy a used car. You go have it privately inspected, and then you decide whether or not you want to continue to buy it for the price that the market demands for it. Can I show you what one of these look like? Because they're like 60 pages long. It can be daunting when you're in a high stress situation. Oh my God, that'd be great. So here's what the inspector highlights as possible areas of concern. So we got the report. I have my contractor on speed dial. We called the contractor. He talked to the buyers. He told the buyers that this is totally normal and that 80% of homes have this type of repair work done. It's not a big deal. It'll cost a couple $1,000s at most, depending on the size of the house, or it could be a few $100s, but it's super easy. It's nothing to worry about. And now the buyers went from sad to, oh my God, great, because we love the home and we really want to buy it. But if 80% of homes have this same exact issue, we're totally cool because the next home's probably going to have it too. Oh my God, awesome. We have to learn how to use the buyer agency agreement. You guys have to become very comfortable with the language of your buyer agency agreement, right? Or your agency agreement, whatever your buyer's broker agreement is, right? Whatever your language that you call it is. You have to start to prep daily now though. If you don't start prepping now for this, to have these conversations around compensation, even if you say, well, Vic, I don't need to worry about that. I'm a listing agent. You're right. You don't need to worry about it. Wouldn't you rather get the seller on board? They're still going to pay the buyer's agent commission if that's what you guys decide is the best model for your business. Wouldn't you rather have those people on board now versus having the conversation when the buyer's agent puts in a seller concession of 1 to 3 or 5 or 10%? And the seller's like, well, I'm not paying that. This is stupid. And the deal starts to unwind itself, or the best offer on the table starts to unwind itself because you didn't want to have that difficult conversation up front. And now the seller's pissed at you because you should have known that this was going to be a conversation that came up, because let's be real, every person is talking about how you should be prepared for this. So start practicing. What am I going to say? How am I going to feel when the seller says, well, I'm not paying a commission? And you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you don't have to. There is no law that said you ever had to pay a commission for both sides. But typically what happens is, in the past, you would pay a commission to my firm would pay a commission to me. I would make an agreement to pay out of the agreed upon price that you were willing to pay my firm. I agreed to then pay a co-broker, right? A partnership broker in the marketplace that is working more with the buyers out there, showing the properties, doing the market to attract the buyers in the marketplace so that we can have a co-broker bring a buyer. And the reason why that's a benefit for you guys is because of X, Y, and Z. Now, I guess what questions do you have around that process? Well, I guess what would be my advantages and disadvantages? That's a great question. The advantages are that you say you're willing to pay, then those agents who are working with those buyers are going to continue to sell your property and push it. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to getting paid, nobody likes to work for free. I wish they did, but guess what? You probably don't work for free, right? Smile and chuckle. The agent that's out there showing homes, representing, doing this, doing that, probably doesn't want to do that either. So if you're a strong listing agent, you're going to protect your industry by having those crucial conversations, because most buyer's agents are buyer's agents because they can't have those crucial conversations. And you can also use something like Well, when you go out to buy a home, do you want to have an extra 1 to 3% tacked on to the upfront closing costs so that you can have the protection of doing this, and this that we just went through? Well, no. Right. Do you see how if we potentially limit the buyer pool by not offering, because the buyer's always paid the commission, right? Like if you think about it, how does the seller pay a commission? Well, I don't know. Well, let's walk through this. Buyer puts an offer on the home for $1 million. You then agree to pay some percentage point. That's paid to my office. My office then tells escrow and the attorneys who to pay, and then they get paid. So technically, the buyer's always paid the commission because without the buyer, there's no sale. Without the sale, it's kind of just like calling it a different name because the attorneys wanted to get paid. But when you go to buy a home, wouldn't you like some representation? Yeah. You guys see how this is all just framing and languaging? Do you see how when you become more comfortable with framing and languaging, everything just starts to flow and you start to do what you actually want to do, which is help your industry, help your clients, help your brothers and sisters in the marketplace have smooth transactions that are easy? The next one is because we expect and because we're preparing, we're going to stay calm during money and commission conversations. They are going to happen. Expect them to happen. Prepare for them to happen. And when they happen, just breathe and relax. Breathe and relax. Be super chill about it. It's not a big deal. If you don't have a conversation when you're doing a high ticket purchase, like a car, or when you go to sell one of your properties, if it's out of state and you have an agent, if you don't have the conversation when you're getting a $20,000 surgery, oh, wow, that's expensive. Okay, here you go. I'm going to pay it. If you're not comfortable negotiating for your money, when people ask you for your money, you're not going to be able to comfortable protecting it and you're going to get the cold sweats inside. Expect it to come. Be cool, be calm. We call it the DHIS model. Disarm, humanize and isolate, and then solve together. Disarm, humanize and isolate, solve together. Number 6, stop listening to the world, you guys. The world is not falling apart, right? There's always the naysayers. There's always the clickbait headlines. All right. You're good, hardworking people. You deserve to be compensated. If the person doesn't want to compensate you, they don't need to work with you. They can go directly somewhere else, right? If they don't want you to be compensated, I don't want you to work with them. And that's okay. There's plenty of people out there that when you understand how to show the processes, what they truly are, don't want to do that. My father does not want to go and figure out all the things that it takes to buy a home. Can he do it? Sure. Is it worth his time? Probably not. To save $15,000 or $20,000, it's probably not worth his time to give up a whole month of work. Think about that, you guys. There's value to time. And when you start to lay out the processes and show people what it actually takes, holy crap, that's a lot of time. Yeah, it's expertise, it's knowledge, it's attorneys, lawsuits, it's millions of dollars, right? Look at these shark attorneys. It's millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you have a lawsuit where the buyer got sued because of bad representation or no representation from your office, I would probably bring that to the appointment because that's something you should show them that, hey, there's a reason why there's real estate attorneys out there. My good friend Kim Sander out of Seattle, Washington, she's a great attorney. She helps people protect themselves in real estate lawsuits all day long. Small deals, a couple $100,000 to big deals, multifamily businesses. If you guys need an attorney, she's fantastic. Do you want to go through that if you don't have to? No, we don't. Yeah, look how much time it took. Date, January 1st, 2023. Settlement date, January 18th, 2024. Whole year of stress? I mean, is that worth it? No. Could you find some better use of your time? Yeah. And guess what? By the time you're done paying those shark-ass attorneys, those blood-sucking vultures, how much money do you think you're going to pay them to protect you? I don't know. Well, a good one ain't cheap. I think they're like $400 or $500 an hour. This has been going on for a year. Oh my God. Right? And the last thing that you can do, right, is you should learn your contracts inside and out. All right. You should know your contracts inside and you should know everything they're signing Because if you're truly going to advise people and ask for them to pay you directly, which is what we've kind of always done, but in direct ways, don't you feel that you owe it to them to be the best that you can be? So if you do this, right, if you do these 7 things, if you learn how to build an insane value proposition as a buyer's agent and have an insane buyer's consultation where we don't just talk about the house, we talk about everything that we do to protect them when they're buying, everything we do to protect them on their offer, everything we do to actually win the offer, all of that stuff laid out. If you have a 45-minute conversation around that, you don't have to have we don't know what to do to show value anymore. That conversation goes down the drain because you show an immense amount of value. If the second thing you do is to learn how to show flow, right? Demo your processes, demo what you do, demo how you protect, demo how you write offers, demo how you deliver an offer, demo your processes of the inspection, demo the pre-inspection, demo, show, flow, solve. They will not have the question of whether or not you're worth it. If you understand how to utilize the buyer agency, right? Real estate's a game of power players and contracts. Can I show you the 3 most important contracts that govern a real estate transaction? If you show that to them in the first 5 minutes of you guys sitting down, they're going to be like, psychologically, this person has confidence in themselves because the average agent isn't even trying to meet with them. You guys are still trying to send them on a drip campaign and they're already on 16 of them. Prep daily now. You cannot wait for, I think it's 2.5 months away where the MLSs are going to change. I don't know what's going to happen, you guys. I don't have the crystal ball. You have to prep now, right? Number 5, stay calm during conversations that can become very heated very quickly. The worst case scenario is you don't work together. That's the worst. The worst is that they say, hey, we're not willing to pay you. We don't see value in you. Okay, cool. Move on. Number 6, turn off the news. The news isn't going to help you. The forums where there's 85, 90% of you guys, look, the agents that are doing business aren't on those forums. The agents that are crushing it are not on the forums. They don't have time to be on the forums. When we were doing 50, 60, $70 million a year, or I guess 50, 60 on our way up to 70 to 100, do you think I had time to sit on Facebook and type in about a bunch of crap? No, I do it now because it's part of my business to help educate you guys. I block it into my time to go on these forums to help educate for 15 to 20 minutes a day. I didn't have time when I was running around with contracts, clients, my team, fires, showings, listings, multiple offers, taking multiple offers. Like, we didn't have time for that. The top agents don't either. So get out of the weeds of the people that are not winning because they're going to suck you in, they're going to drive you down, and they're going to ask stupid questions that hurt you. Instead, listen to the people like me that have navigated through this thought and time, right? I didn't just come out on day 1 and put this together. I thought, let me put a valuable piece of content together that you guys can actually utilize. I don't want to just be a talking head. I've been through tough times in real estate. We've sold hundreds of millions of dollars. I've been in your seats. I've had many conversations around commissions. Don't always have to be sweat-induced battles. They can be collaborative. And the last one is learn the contracts in and out. Because if you can't explain it to your 3-year-old, you shouldn't be explaining it to anybody else. Please do me a favor. Share this, bookmark this, rewatch it, take notes. Share this with some people in your world, right? Maybe not your direct competitors, but maybe go share it with the people in your world. There is a way that you can deliver this with better tact. But even if you don't have the tonality and the pacing, right? Even if you don't have that done, if you learn how to build your system, right? Your buyer's playbook, you will have more confidence when you have conversations with these people. You will have more credibility when you have conversations, and you're going to actually help them make better decisions when it comes to purchasing a home. Do me a favor, if you got any value out of this, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. In the upper hand corner, there's a little bell. Hit the bell, because we're going to be continuing to deliver a ton of content that's timely and relevant to you helping more people. Because it's not about smashing objections. It's not about crushing objections. Oh, let me teach you how to crush objections. That's freaking BS old crap. Nobody wants their mom to be crushed, right? You don't want to be crushed at the car lot. It's about disarming, humanizing, isolating, solving together, helping the prospect make the best decision, overcoming their fears, overcoming your fears. That's how we have raving fans instead of one-time clients. That's how we build referrals. That's how we build the business where we don't have to have the conversation about commissions, because guess what? Your client's going to be like, yo, I use Vikram, I use John, I use Pedro, I use Andy, I use Wally, I used Molly, right? They're going to say, I used Alex. Oh my God, let me tell you, you have to sit down with them. And the person who's like, well, I don't want to pay a commission. I didn't either. They took care of everything. Just sit down with them. The worst case scenario is he's going to be like, cool, we don't work together. Or he's going to have a solution where you can work with him and it doesn't necessarily come out of your pocket because he's got different options available where you could do things. But you have to sit down with them, because if we didn't sit down with them, we wouldn't have won the house. If we didn't sit down with them, we wouldn't have got this. We wouldn't have got, you guys, that's how you go create raving fans. Look, I'm going to show you something here real quick, right? Like if you type in my name, outside of like all the bad stuff you find on me, Zillow automatically populates. There's a reason why we got 121 reviews, right? You guys, I've been retired since 2018, right? There's a reason why we sold nice size houses. But guess what? When you have processes, people love writing reviews on you and your team, and they're long reviews. They're good reviews. Look, Ben was willing to spend the night going over the purchase and sale. We're not tech savvy. He came over. We were put the home on the market, had an offer over list price in 3 days. We couldn't have it done with Ben, Vikram, and the Dual Group. If you're thinking about buyer or selling, Ben and his team will exceed your expectation. Guys, that's what happens when you have great processes. You build a team that actually outproduces you. I didn't even know who these people were. They talked to Ben. My name was only mentioned just because of niceties, right? My name was Jessica, right? My name's only niceties, right? The Dual Group, Ben, right? This is how you build a business that produces you, is you start with processes for everything. I love you. I appreciate you. I want to hear how you're utilizing this. If you want some help, like you don't have to work with us, but if you want some help and you want to see what we do to work with like human behavior and psychology and how we put together all these different playbooks and work to help you be better than what I was, that's my goal, is that you can outsell me, copy me, but outsell me with your own personality and your own words. And I be your guide and your Sherpa to get you there. Just drop a comment below and one of my team members or myself will reach out. Or you can go to Instagram, Coach Vikram Diol, and you can send me a private DM. If you just put in the word NAR, I'll send you a couple of free resources that we're working on. Probably take us a couple of days to get them out, but we'll get you a couple free resources. And then if you feel like it would help, we could give you a link to talk to me or somebody on my team about next steps. If you feel like that might be helpful. I love you. The world is not stopping. You're hardworking, you're ethical, you're good human. Keep working, keep improving. It's not the leads, it's always skills. The better your skills, the more leads that show up. And I'll see you in the next one.